Hey guys, what's going on today? Bojo here, and we are back with our Columbus Blue Jackets GM mode. Going to get started free agency here in year number 4, and it's probably going to be a quiet free agency for us this time around because, well, we're pretty much just sticking around, holding on to all of our prospects because a lot of our prospects, like I said last episode, are high 70s, and a lot of our young players are relatively mid-range 80s. So we're just gonna keep probably just go through free agency here, get to the beginning of year number 4. And then just see how good of a jump all of our players get. We only have 2 mil here. I am going to sign some prospects, but this free agency is not going to be huge, and this episode probably won't be too long either, so it'll probably be a very short episode. But without further ado, let's get rolling in free agency because you guys were telling me to pick up 2 players here in free agency, and they would be one of them being unrestricted free agents. Let's see about that. So goaltenders, the 2 unrestricted free agents. So you guys told me to pick one of these 2 goaltenders to back up Ortio once he gets done playing in the AHL for our team. He'll probably get better. He might even join the NHL team at some point. Who knows? But we need to make a decision here on which goalie we should take in either Jake Patterson or Julio Bilia. So Patterson, I believe he's a London Knight. I'm not entirely sure about that. His name sounds familiar. But Patterson last year did not play any games, and Bilia was a second-round pick by the Washington Capitals, and he didn't play any games at all. No season stats for either of these guys. So they're both 3.5 stars. They're both 3.5 gold star prospects, and Bilia's 3 less overalls than him, but he's 2 years younger than him. So I think we're going to go with Julio Bilia. Well, actually, let's look at their height. Height and weight, 6'1", 163, 6'1". Yeah, they're pretty much equal players. So we're going to go with the younger guy. We're going to sign Julio Bilia to a entry-level deal for him. Patterson will let standing out there on the free agency market. Somebody else can go pick him up. And then defenseman, I wanted to pick up Gauthier Leduc, but he is a restricted free agent, I think, from the Buffalo Sabres. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to pick him up or not. Let's see. You know, if he might be a two-way deal. So if he's a two-way deal, I don't think we have to give up draft picks for this guy. Let me see. Other teams interested in Buffalo. Yeah, no draft picks required for this. So we can go attempt to sign him. So he's 23 years old, 73 overall. Let's see how he did last year. He's a defenseman, offensive D man. Pretty solid stats. 35 points last year. Not bad for a D man. Not bad at all for a D man actually. And yeah, let's keep going. Let's go and try to sign this guy. So RFAs, Gauthier Leduc, and let's see. So we'll sign him for 2 years. Give him zero point 0.9 for a two-way deal. There you go. See if Buffalo matches that. Pumpel's also available. He's 23.71. He didn't have the greatest year, but he is a sniper. Could be another prospect. Palat, obviously we can't afford Palat. Christian Thomas. Deneau. Gudas. Freiberg. Why does Freiberg's name sound familiar to me? Anaheim Ducks. Max Freiberg. 53 points. This guy had a good year. No, I'll see if I can sign Freiberg as well. Just get some chance here to sign some RFAs. Why not? Let's see. Let's bump him up to that. No picks required. Just testing out these players here. See if any of the teams will match it. Christian Thomas, he's also a sniper. Yeah, he didn't have. Well, he played NHL time, but yeah, he's not going to progress all too well, just because the AHL, the NHL players who don't play that much. I'm gonna skip on Pupil. I'll try for Freiberg because he is a sniper, even though Pupil's a sniper as well. I like Freiberg better. He had a much better year. Connor Murphy, I'm gonna skip on Connor Murphy. He did not have a great year at all. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah, we got the goalie. We got some RFAs, contracts issued out. Let's see if any of these guys reply. Okay. Maybe my staff upgrades too. Okay, so Julio Bilia accepted our offer. Entry level deal. Okay, so Freiburg accept our offer as presented. Same thing with Gautier Leduc. Both accepted the offer sheets, but now we have to go wait and see if any of these, if the Sabres or the Buffalo Sabres have chosen to match our offer to Gautier Leduc. Okay, and we still waiting on Freiburg from the Anaheim Ducks, I believe. And the Ducks have matched our offer for Freiburg as well. Okay, so it was worth a try, but no luck there in free agency. We got the goaltender. That's pretty much all we needed. So, yeah, let's just get out of free agency, and we'll get to the beginning of the regular season. And, yeah, to save you guys some time. Power of video editing. I'll see you guys when the free agency is done. All right, guys, so I got stopped by the scouting assignment, so we'll do this really quickly. I think we can just continue to scout defensemen. Honestly, there's really no reason to scout forwards. We're pretty stocked for forward prospects, so we'll continue to just scout defensemen here. So first rounder there. Let's see, OHL, top 5 and the top 10, Bishop and Yandel. Okay. A couple first rounds in U.S. Nothing there. Nothing in the Swiss League. One guy, Cronwall, super sweet. Hartikainen. Hartikainen in the Elite League, top 5 guy, and that's about it. All right, so we'll start in the OHL with Bishop and Yandel, these guys. Only 13 guys there, so shouldn't be too long. All right, so let's simulate all the way up here. First day before the first preseason game against the Carolina Hurricanes. And let's check out everything, shall we? This is going to be interesting to see how big of a jump these players are going to get. So let's do our goaltenders here. So we got Sergei. Well, maybe I should do. Should I do my roster moves now? I'll just leave it this way. So Sergei Bobrovsky still stayed at 87 overall. Yoni Ortio jumped up to a 78, so that's going to be pretty decent for our AHL team. If we go to the system, Oscar Dansk up to an 83 as well. So we have Bobrovsky 87, Dansk is at 83, so we got a nice, really good 1-2 punch in net this year. So it's looking pretty good in net. Billy up to a, he just stayed at 55. So goaltending is looking very, very nice. All right, so let's look at our defenseman here. Ryan Murray up to an 87, not bad, nicely done. He could be considered a top 2 defenseman now. I really hope he is. That'll be sick if he is. Jack Johnson stayed at 85. Julius Honka jumped up to an 84 overall. So look at this guy out of nowhere. Julius Honka, I think he was like 79, jumps up to an 84 now, so he might be ready for this team. I think he definitely is ready now. The fantastic Finn. He's got a nice shooting category. He's got a hard shot at least. His puck moving skills are decent. Good offensive awareness. Skating decent. Defensively, he's very good. He's got a nice defensive awareness. Not really shot blocking. Good stick checking. So Honka, I think, is ready to play this year. DeKaiser stayed at 83. Tim Erickson went up to it 82. And Calvin DeHaan shrunk to a 78. What the hell? Oh my God. Calvin DeHaan is like the freaking. I don't even know. Somebody should give a nickname to Calvin DeHaan for a defensive play. What the freaking hell happened to this guy? All right, well, we know what we have to do here now. Calvin DeHaan is officially on the trading block. We're not going to have a 78 overall defenseman making $3 million on the team. Ain't no way that's going to happen. I'd rather have Julius Honka up here on the team making .67 rather than playing a 78 overall guy and Calvin DeHaan making $3 million. Calvin DeHaan has to be traded, man. Oh my God, this guy. This guy's like one of the worst like defensemen going back and forth between NHL and AHL teams, and he just continues to like get shittier and shittier every time he gets up here. So Calvin DeHaan, yeah, you're probably gonna get traded, bud, but everything else looks fairly good up here. That's honestly hilarious. How do you go from being an 80, jumping to like an 84 overall from sitting on the bench, jump up to an 85 while playing through the playoffs, drop to an 82 after the playoffs are over, and drop back down to a 78 once the beginning of next season comes? Honestly, it's a weird ass player Calvin DeHaan has turned into, but yeah, he's definitely gonna be some trading bait. Pick wise, I don't even care what we get for him, honestly. Maybe we could package him in the deal for something, who knows. But we got to get rid of that contract. It's not worth it. It's definitely not worth it when we have a much better offensive defenseman in Julius Honka. His defensive category is crap. Honka's much better. All right, so if we look at the in the system guys, Seeloff is 82 and David Savard is also an 82. So we got some decisions here to make. I think we have one more extra defenseman. Actually, two. Well, DeHaan's going to get traded. So we have Murray and Jack Johnson, Honka and DeKaiser, and then Erickson, and then Seeloff or Savard. So we do have an extra defenseman on hand here. It could be either David Savard. It could be either Patrick Seeloff. DeHaan is obviously going to get traded. But we do have an extra defenseman on our plate here. So there could be there's one trading asset in there somewhere. Could be Jack Johnson, maybe as a trading asset. I don't want to think so because he's 85. Still, he's only 29. It's probably one of our best offensive defensemen that we do have on this team. But still, we do have an extra defenseman on hand. System-wise, Prout 78, Schuster 78, Glebuff, Ellis 76, Weatherspoon 75, Bryson Martin up to a 70. Did he have green stars? I feel like he had green stars. That might be McCowan. Yeah, McCowan does. So McCowan's not progressing all too much either. He's slowly making his way up there. Jansen up to a 67. Okay, so right wingers now. Let's take a look at the main roster for right wingers. So Patrick Kane up to an 89. Danny Cristo up to an 86. So look at that. He's challenging Jordan Eberle now for maybe like a first line sniping position. Oh my God, look at that shooting category. Dear guys, slap shot's pretty damn powerful. Wrist shot accuracy's not all that great, but it's a nice hard shot. His puck moving skills are good. He's got a really solid defensive category as well. Good offensive awareness. Skating's good. Danny Cristo, man, he might be something. He didn't even have the greatest season last year either, which is really odd. Only 20 points in 82 games on that third line, but still, he had a nice big boost up to an 86, and he's much better than Jordan Eberle now, who's still 85 overall, 26 years old. He stayed 85. 4.5 gold stars for Jordan Eberle. Yeah, Cristo's got a much better shooting category than Ebbs does. Ebbs is still, I think, a more balanced player than Cristo is, but Cristo's got the much harder shot now. Kuznetsov still stayed at 84. Atkinson down to 83. Trop still at a 79. So everybody there is still looking pretty solid. Let me see. In the system, Gudobin jumped up to a 77. Okay, that's looking good for him. He might be ready next year. Sprong 72. That's looking good for him. Bjorkstrand 70, and then Matthias Janmark up to a 62. Okay, so we're looking pretty good there. Left wingers, Dubes still stayed at 84. Matt Calder jumped up to an 82. Okay, so that's decent for him. What's his stats looking like? Very reminiscent of Atkinson's. So it's mirroring that very well. Stats look almost identical to Atkinson's. Reichel up to a 79, Carroll up to a 79, and Tambellini up to a 77. So I think we could play these guys now. If Reichel's a fourth liner, I guess I could play him, even though I'm not fond of his defensive category. He's got a good offensive category. Carroll, I think I could play. Yeah, I can definitely play Austin Carroll, no doubt. His discipline's something I might got to worry about, 122 penalty minutes, but if we had Trop last year and it worked out fine for us, there's no reason I shouldn't play Carroll. Same thing, his defensive category is very good, even though he has zero discipline. So we'll have to figure out something there. And then centers, Sedin still stayed at 87. Cody Hodgson up to an 87. All right. Now we might have a established somebody who might challenge the first line now. So it looks like Danny Cristo challenging Jordan Eberle for a first line sniper position. Now we have Cody Hodgson challenging Henrik Sedin for a first line center position. So his puck moving skills have gotten a lot better. His defensive category is good. Yeah, and his offensive awareness is good. So Cody Hodgson jumps up to an 87. Johansson got better. Johansson jumped up 1 overall to an 85. So maybe that's where Johansson belongs. He does belong in that second line. I think it's how he progresses on that second line, which allows him to get up to an 85. So he'll probably stay there. Terrell 84, which is good for him, even though he's probably going to be playing some third line time. That's good for Terrell, and Nisimov still stayed at an 81, so not bad. And then in the system, did I check my left wing system, guys? Yeah. And then Jenner still at a 78. Continue to grow him there. Connor McDavid 77, one more year in the CHL. He'll probably be ready next year, no doubt. And Barbashev up to a 71. So, wow. Interesting players here right now. Interesting overall jumps. Interesting players challenging some guys for some other positions. This is going to be an interesting year. So, wow. This is really interesting. Defense. All right, so let's take this one position at a time. Goaltenders, there's no question it's Bobrovsky and Dansk. We have that under control. Defensemen, we know we have Ryan Murray and Jack Johnson on the top two. Julius Honka apparently will play top four, and Dane DeKaiser will play top four as well. Tim Erickson will probably be some top six. Calvin DeHaan's going to get traded. And then we also have David Savard and Patrick Seeloff for some other two defensemen. Now, David Savard is 25, and he is 82 overall, another offensive defenseman. I do like my offensive defenseman, but we already have enough? Murray, two-way, offensive, two-way. And then we need skill off there for defense. So, David Savard looks like he might be the odd man out. Could be a tradable asset. Could keep him for depth. Could use him somewhere. You guys will have to make the call on that. But defense, we're looking solid. There's nothing really issues there other than DeHaan needs to get traded to free up some cap space. Definitely, that'll free up, give us some 4.6 mil worth of cap space left. And then we could maybe just package some players and some deals together. We have a lot of good players now that we could package together. And now forward wise, this is where it gets interesting. I need to go to roster moves and see where everybody is, what everybody's kind of what their line is set up to be. Okay, so let's see about this. Okay, so Kane is still. Let's do a by roll. Okay, so Henrik Sedin is still considered a first liner. So if he's still considered a first liner, that's where I'm going to play him. Same thing with Patrick Kane. These two guys work together well. We'll do it. But the thing is, none of those snipers, oh my God, I can't even get the words out. Danny Cristo nor Jordan Eberle are considered a first-line sniper. So that could be something we go out for. Another first-line sniper, package some guys together, get another first-line sniper, and that'll free up some cap space. Who knows? But Kuznetsov is still a second liner. Hodgson's still a second liner, so I'll play him there. I'll bolster up the second line really well, because if they're telling me to play him there, I'll play him there. He's still getting better. I think this is his final year of getting better with 4 green stars. Why not? Play him there, have 287 overall centers on my first two lines. I'm fine with that. Christo's a second liner, so if Christo's still considered a second liner, I'll play him there, put him next to Hodgson. Cristo will have two good line mates now. He can either play him next to Cody Hodgson and Ryan Johansson, or Cody Hodgson and Jordan Eberle, one of those two. So Eberle is a second liner, so I mean, I know Eberle might be the odd man out here. Who knows? Maybe Eberle is the guy we can trade up, get rid of his salary, and get a first-line sniper now for this team. But the thing is, I don't want to maybe risk that, getting a first-line sniper, when we know some of our younger players are going to get better. Maybe a veteran first-line sniper might not be bad. With like 1 year left on his deal, that could be good, because by the time we get a veteran first-line sniper with 1 year left on his deal, then we could send him to free agency, and then probably by the time he's ready, a lot of our forwards are going to get better, like Reichel, Carroll, Jenner, Tambolini, McDavid will probably be up here next year. Goodobin, Sprong, Barbashev, Bjorkstrand. We have so many younger good players that are coming up in a couple of years that a veteran player would be a perfect player to pick up for this team, first line sniper wise. Make a trade, send some younger guys off, and do that. But first line, Kane, Sedin, and a question mark. We'll leave that for right now. Second line, if I had to choose, I would want Cody Hodgson, Danny Cristo, and Ryan Johansson on that second line. I'll probably leave Jordan Eberle for some trading bait, because why not? Trade him for a veteran first line sniper. Third line probably would be Brandon Dubinsky, Dana Terrell, and Kuznetsov's also kind of an odd man out as well. Yeah, Kuznetsov is kind of an odd man out. Don't know what I want to do with him. I probably would want to put maybe we trade Dubes. Maybe we do trade Dubinsky, because Dana Terrell is a center. He's got 72 faceoffs. He doesn't have the best faceoffs as Brandon Dubinsky does. Dan Terrell is 3.5 gold stars. That's another big decision here. We have to make a decision if we want to keep Dubinsky or if we want to keep Terrell, because both of them do. Even though Dubinsky's a left winger, I'm considering him a center because of those faceoffs. Because Because if we trade one of those guys, we're losing Kuznetsov, because I still want to play Kuznetsov on that third line. So then you could have a two-way forward playmaker and a sniper down there, because Cam Atkinson needs somebody sniper-wise to play with. And then fourth line, you're looking at Artem Anisimov, I guess Corey Tropp, because I'm looking down there in the AHL thing. Carroll's still a minor league checker, so if he's still considered a minor league checker, I'm going to play him down there. Reichel and Jenner are still considered depth forwards, and all these guys are still considered some minor leaguers. So, you know what? If they're not ready to come up yet, let them go for another year down there and bring them up next year. So, yeah, that kind of works out. And then we could maybe have a sniper on the fourth line with Calvert and Nisimov and Trop. So, yeah, there's some big decisions that need to be made here, guys. So, I'm gonna go on to edit lines, I think, and go for best lines here and see what the game wants us to do. But then you guys will have to make some decisions on this, or what I want to do. So, assistant coach best lines. Okay, so they want Sedin, Kane, and Jordan Eberle. Yeah. Hodgson, you're not playing down there, no way. This is how I would put it together. I would put that there, that there. Kuznetsov's a right wing, right? Yep, he's a right wing. Atkinson's also a right wing. Yeah, I want Cam over here. And then Artem is scratched. You could trade a guy like Artem Anisimov too. You could have Dubinsky play down there in the fourth. I mean, he has 1 year left, so I don't see why not. I probably would consider going to get rid of him next year anyway. So there's what I possibly would maybe have the offensive lineup set to. So Jordan Eberle, Henrik Sedin, and Patrick Kane would be my first line to start. But guys like, you could trade Jordan Eberle. You can trade guys like Evgeny Kuznetsov. You could trade guys like Brandon Dubinsky. You could trade a guy like Artem Anisimov, if you will. Because there are some third line guys that aren't getting the time that they need. But the second line is kind of static right now. I don't want to move anybody off of that second line. So maybe package a deal Jordan Eberle and either Brandon Dubinsky or Artem Anisimov or Dana Terrell or Evgeny Kuznetsov or Matt Calvert together for a veteran first line sniper with 1 year left on his deal to work with Henrik Sedin and Patrick Kane. So that way we go for the cup run again and see what happens. Defensively, I don't think there's a problem. Dahan will obviously get out of there. We'll trade him, and then we'll move up, seal off, and then we have to figure out what we want to do with David Savard. So there's a lot of decisions that need to be made here. Goaltending, that's not a problem. Obviously, Danska and Bobrovsky will be in there. I'll obviously do roster moves when it comes down to it. But, yeah, there needs to be some serious decisions made by you guys on offense, because honestly, I'm at a loss for words here. We have a lot of good players on this team right now. A lot of good players, but the one place we are missing is a first-line sniper. Jordan Eberle obviously can get it done, but you might want to go after the guy who the game considers a first-line sniper, as well as a veteran. That way we have him for that 1 year, and then we get rid of him. Or we could keep Jordan Eberle, play him up there. Play Danny Cristo on that first line. Move Johansson, Hodgson, and Eberle together on that second line. Who knows? Keep Dubes down there. But there definitely needs to be some trades made for this team. Get rid of some of our players. So you guys can go batshit crazy in the comment section down below for what the Columbus Blue Jackets should do. We now have a overwhelming abundance of some players, of good prospects, as well as good depth players on this team, as well as a lot of really good second and third liners. So you guys can make the decisions for me here. I'm going to go. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe as always. What should the Columbus Blue Jackets do? What should the lineups be? It's going to be a very interesting year 4, to say the least.